Hi, I'm Meg, and I'm in a very difficult situation. This can be called a love triangle, but in reality, everything is much more complicated. Listen to me, please. Suddenly advise how to behave. We met Michael in a cafe. I took the only empty seat next to a handsome stranger. He smiled at me. That's how we got to know each other. It turned out that Michael, like me, was in his senior year. But he studies remotely, as he devotes all his time to singing and dancing, and also goes to acting classes. Michael was so focused. And I liked him right away. And it turned out that it was mutual because the next day, Michael asked me on a date in a cafe, and everything started spinning. I was in seventh heaven. After all, I have such a talented guy, but I didn't rejoice for long. Why? I'll tell you in a minute. But for now, please subscribe to the channel and click on the bell. Thank you. We met for about a month, but began to see each other less and less. Michael was on his nerves, soon casting in a new youth group where he madly wanted to get into. I understood everything and supported him very much. Casting has been successfully completed. Michael was chosen from hundreds of applicants, and the jury liked him so much that he was offered a personal project. The producer wanted to turn Michael into a real idol. I already imagined all the girls in the class would be jealous of me when they found out that I was dating a real star. The next day, Michael left for rehearsals. He was busy from early morning until late at night. At first, he excitedly wrote to me how everything was going, but after a week, the messages from him stopped. He also did not answer calls. But I understood everything. My boyfriend works hard to become famous. Once I came to school, I noticed that the girls were discussing something enthusiastically. Looking over one of them, I saw photos of my Michael. It turned out that he has a new account in social networks, which is being actively promoted. There are videos from rehearsals and Michael's streams and even spicy photos from training. And what is most surprising, now he is not Michael, but Jean. Classmates vied with each other discussing him, looking for merch with the image of Jin, and I wanted to scream. This is my boyfriend. Do not touch him. I'm over it. I don't want to share it with anyone. I called Michael, but he didn't answer. I called his producer, threw a tantrum, and he said that we can meet in the evening with Jean. I was hoping that we will talk with my boyfriend. I will tell about my feelings and we will find a way out of this impasse. But Michael just handed me a list of rules that are written in his contract. He has no right to date anyone. Relationships can be started, but everything must be hidden from the public. I'm not allowed to like his photo on social networks and to correspond on his page. And if anyone finds out about us, Michael must deny everything. Like, we don't know her, and I came up with everything. This is the answer prepared for the press. And what kind of relationship will this be, Michael? You better call me Jean, Meg. Another person was looking at me. Sleek, handsome, with a pumped-up body, inexpensive clothes, but with empty, tired eyes. Not my Michael. Tears choked me, and in order not to burst into tears right there, I ran away. Needless to say, Michael did not even try to catch up with me. Weeks went by. I didn't leave the house. I always took everything very close to my heart, but this time, I covered it to the fullest. There was no appetite. I started losing weight rapidly. Everything around suddenly lost its colors and became black and white. I could look at pictures of Michael for hours. During this time, his career began to gain momentum. The first single was released, which hit the top of the charts. The shooting of the video was being prepared, rehearsals were in full swing, and the worst thing is that Michael appeared at events hugging different girls. Models, bloggers, aspiring singers. I understood that these were just mutually beneficial agreements, but it still hurt me a lot. Seeing that I was getting worse and worse, my mother dragged me to a psychologist. I already had experienced with her when my father died, and then therapy helped me a lot. The first few sessions were unbearable. I sobbed a lot, but it helped clear up the picture. I fell in love with this beautiful picture called Michael, became obsessed with him, and now I'm withdrawal. The psychologist explained that I needed to find myself, understand who I am, love yourself, become significant to yourself, and stop looking for an idol. Honestly, I didn't understand how this could be done. I'm an ordinary girl with no special talents. Sometimes I draw scribbles when I'm nervous. It helps. And the psychologist seized on it. I started going to art therapy. Then I went to art school, and it really took me. I drew all the time, studied art history, attended various master classes, brilliantly passed the exam papers at the end of the year, and my teacher took some of my works to the exhibition. I came to the opening. The art gallery was in the center of the city. The exhibition is big, and there were a lot of people from the very beginning. I stood, looked at my canvases, and did not believe that it was me who painted it. Very interesting solution, right? There was an attractive guy next to me. He looked at my paintings appraisingly. Emotions raged inside, so I could only nod in response. Do you know who the author is? I would like to purchase them. I'm the author, I whispered. The guy immediately smiled warmly and extended his hand to me. My name is Derek. I am fond of art, especially this direction. Are the paintings for sale? He had such big shiny eyes that I began to drown in them. Derek was 24 years old. He just graduated from university. I have always been fond of art, interior design, and now I am looking for myself. Parents are doing a comprehensive renovation in the house and asked him to fill the space of the house with interesting paintings. And now my paintings will fit perfectly into the interior. Derek told me this in a cozy cafe, where he invited me to sit after the exhibition. And he asked me to draw a few more paintings in the same style. He bought all of my works, and for good money. I couldn't believe it. But after that, orders poured in on me. There were even regular customers. I was able to help my mother, and I constantly wanted to pinch myself. Is this really happening to me for real? Derek started courting me. Dinners, walks on the water, excursions to museums. With each new meeting, we realized that we had a lot in common. I shared everything with him, but kept quiet about the story with Michael. I stopped following him a long time ago. There was neither time nor desire for this. After a couple of months, Derek suggested that I organize my own exhibition. He took care of all the technical issues. He found a hall, paid for several articles about me in the media, invited the right people, and the show went great. The entire urban beau monde gathered. Several paintings were bought at once. Many wanted to collaborate with me. I don't even know how to thank you, Derek. I hugged him tightly after the show. For the first time, they took such care of me and my interests. To celebrate this event, Derek invited me to his house. Look how your first canvases fit into the interior. Parents are just delighted. And they really want to get to know you. When I saw Derek's house and his parents, I was shocked. He was huge, just a palace. I had no idea that Derek's family was so rich. His parents greeted me very warmly. We chatted in the living room, discussing my work. There was a feeling that we had known each other for a very long time. Music was playing. We were all laughing loudly at something when suddenly Derek's mother abruptly stumbled and looked at the door. I followed her gaze and almost froze. Michael stood on the threshold of the room. He was pale. There were dark shadows under his eyes. His hands were hidden in his pockets. And his eyes, he seemed to be looking through us. Derek's mom ran up to him and pulled him out of the room by the hand. Dad followed her. Derek and I were alone in the room. I was silent, and I couldn't figure out what it was. Suddenly, Derek said in a low voice, "I'm sorry. He wasn't supposed to be here. It can be seen that the nurse has gone somewhere, but he is harmless." "Who is he?" And Derek explained that it was his younger brother, Michael, that he dreamed all his life of becoming popular, of becoming an idol, so that thousands of girls all over the world would go crazy for him. But in the end, I almost went crazy myself. He could not stand the competition, strict rules, the resume, and also with the girl he loved. The producers forced him to disperse. Now he is on sedatives, undergoing therapy, and I hope the moment will come when our cheerful and smiling Michael will return to himself. This story gave me goosebumps. So Michael didn't cope, and apparently today he didn't recognize me. Because of the sedatives? I didn't know how to react to this. Should I tell Derek that the girl Michael was forced to break up with was me? Derek interrupted my thoughts by suggesting a walk in the evening garden. A month has passed since then. I fall more and more in love with Derek, attentive, caring, able to appreciate me. Yesterday, he offered to live together and also gave a ring. Yes, yes, Derek and I are now engaged. I am well received in his family. My mother gets along well with Derek. And only I sometimes wake up in the night in a cold sweat. This secret about my relationship with Michael haunts me. I saw him a few more times, but Michael does not react to me in any way. Should I tell Derek about everything? After all, everything's secret always becomes clear. What if it ruins our relationship? I don't know what to do. What would you do? Write in the comments. I'll be waiting.